Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have another one. Yes, we have another one. Another gaming urinalist that is out here trying to pretend as if they're the ones being harassed, and yet they, for some reason, think it's okay for them to essentially threaten people nonstop online, and that nobody else is allowed to claim harassment other than them. We have an article here from That Park Place with a headline that reads, Games urinalist Ryan Easby, which, again, Ryan Easby is one of those fucking losers that we've done so many videos on, but that's besides the point, declares that GRUMMZ should never know a moment of safety or peace in his entire life.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this absolute loser that looks like an overweight version of John Travolta, he decides that he thinks that, oh, everybody else is not allowed safety. Everybody else is not allowed to be having peace of mind or whatever the case may be, all because it's ideological differences. It's amazing that somebody online is unable to handle a difference of opinion to the point where they want to threaten someone. They want to make them feel uncomfortable. They want their family to be uncomfortable. And it's all based off ideology. And then in the same breath, they want to gaslight you and tell you that, oh, none of this matters. So why is it a big deal to you? Yeah, why is it a big deal to you? The one who's being threatened, the one who is saying you're not allowed to have a moment of peace. Why is it a big deal to you? But for you, it's totally okay for it to be a big deal because it's your ideology and that's the only worldview that matters. So let's get into this video, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan Easby, it says Ryan Easby is via Super Deluxe Gamescast YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the same live stream that Johnny Boy is on, but I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, because I don't watch their content. I'm only going based off the Twitter profile like headline, and I feel like it is, but it might not be. I really don't know. Games journalist Ryan Easby, who has freelanced for various outlets, including NME, PC Games N, The Escapist, The Gamer, Gaming with a Y, Magazine, and others, declared that Mark Kern, aka GRUMMZ, should never have a moment of safety or peace for his entire life. In a response to Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante accusing Kern of lying regarding Call of Duty, including transgender-themed bullets as part of its Pride Month gift pack, Easby declared that Kern should never know safety or peace in his entire life. Mercante wrote, Mark Kern is lying again. Here's the results of our testing. The skin on any gun other than the special edition M4 have regular bullets. The tracer rounds on the Soul Harvester blueprint seemingly unintentionally applied the skin to the bullets. At one point, only the pink from the trans flag is on them. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't a lie. It was just a simple fact that it was only on one particular gun, and whether it was intentional or not, nobody was talking about the skin necessarily. We were talking about the optics of what that skin means, considering that what's been happening in the world and the amount of bad things that have been happening in public places, and you guys get what I'm trying to say with that. Trans people have been at the forefront of that for the last couple of years, and just optically speaking, it just didn't look very good. You know what I mean? If you want to have trans flag colors on bullets, by all means have at it, but don't try to pretend like optically speaking that's not exactly the best thing for your cause right now. It says Mercante's own tweet exposes her lie, given that the bullets were indeed introduced into the game and were available if you have the M4 weapon. In fact, Kotaku's original coverage, written by Ethan Gyak and Mercante, also noted this, but lied by claiming that Activision did not introduce the bullets. Now, again, catching Kotaku in a lie, not exactly the hardest thing in the world, considering that they're going to run defense for the mainstream any chance that they get. Gak wrote, Call of Duty didn't introduce this, though. Unlike all the grifters clout chasing off of the screen grab, and again, every time I hear the word grifter, I'm going to simply ask, do you understand what the meaning of the word is? Because I don't think that you do. You want to talk about us not understanding what the word woke is, but I can literally describe it to you if you would like at one point on a live stream that I know we're never going to have because you don't want to have a discussion, but I don't genuinely think you understand what the word grifter is, and you're choosing to use that word because you think it's insulting to us, but what, in fact, the funny thing is, it's not. Like, it's totally like, listen, you want to call me a grifter? I'm just going to co-opt the word. That's all I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing for a while, because at the end of the day, there's only one side that's successful, and it's not you. Anyone who actually investigated the source of the transgender flag bullets would have quickly realized they're seemingly isolated to one particular skin on one particular gun. That gun is the M4 blueprint that players received after purchasing Modern Warfare 3, so clearly Activision did introduce the bullets on the M4 weapon. Nevertheless, Easy reacted to Mercante's post accusing GRUMMZ of lying by writing he should never know a moment of safety or peace in his entire life I think. GRUMMZ reacted writing, dude, I tweet about video games. Why does this bother you so much? And honestly, it's a great question. He does tweet about video games. Whether you agree with what he's saying or not, why does it bother you so much to the point where you need to threaten someone's life? Because that's essentially what you're doing. You're trying to say that they shouldn't know a moment of peace or tranquility in their life, that they should be constantly feeling uncomfortable. And that is a threat against someone's life at the end of the day. Whether you want to say it's not, or here's the best part. Here's the best gaslight. You guys ready for this? They're going to say, well, I was just joking, bro. Yeah, okay, totally. Yeah, you were totally joking. You always say that you're joking whenever you don't get the reaction that you were hoping for. And that's what people do to try to gaslight you into thinking they weren't telling the truth when they were. You're telling the truth, bro. Just admit it. And that's just what it is. You want these people to feel constantly uncomfortable. You want GRUMMZ to be threatened every single day. You want his peace of mind to be completely thrown out the window. But realistically, the only one whose peace of mind has been thrown out the window is Gatsby's. That's the only one. Ryan Gatsby is one of those people who are terminally online, probably suffers from TDS, or in this case, GDS, and he wants to, I guess, make people feel like he feels every single day. Probably, if I had to guess. Easby previously called for violence against GRUMMZ back in April. He posted soft launching mine campaign to kick Mark Kern in the balls. Yeah, nothing came of that, shockingly. His call for violence was echoed by numerous individuals in the video game industry. John Phipps, who hopes Super Deluxe... Oh, okay, I was right. Who hosts Super Deluxe Gamescast, posted, it's actually base, I donate. Okay, not shocking. All right, so Johnny Boy, aka the biggest cuck on YouTube or Twitter, I would say, is the one who works with Ryan Gatsby. So they host the official Super Deluxe Gamescast, which, by the way, they get like 5 viewers, I think, total for the live stream. I'm not even talking concurrently. I'm talking total. Like, it's that official of a live stream. Yeah, it's not shocking that he would echo the same sentiments that Ryan Gatsby did. But, I mean, at the end of the day, Johnny Boy is threatening everybody. If you want to open up a lawsuit against anyone for threats, Johnny Boy would probably be the easiest one to do it against, because he has openly threatened literally everybody with violence. Everybody. I think everybody except for women, obviously, and gaming journalists. Like, basically anybody who's not on their side, he has openly threatened. That's just how he is, because he's one of those guys that has such low testosterone and that he has to constantly put out this image of a tough guy online. Otherwise, how would people believe him, right? But at the end of the day, he's the biggest fucking pussy in the entire world, and he acts like it. You know, the loudest one in the room is the one who you never have to be afraid of. That's just how it goes. Former Riot Games senior concept artist and current art director at Easy Games, Michael Marino, also approved the call to assault Kern. He wrote, agreed that this is okay. Yeah, not shocking. Again, the people who are supposedly against harassment are the ones who are constantly advocating for violence. Nobody else on our side, that I have seen anyway, has ever advocated for violence. And when it has happened, it's usually on a troll account that has one follower that was clearly made by a leftist to try to make someone else look bad. But when we're talking about actual real people with actual followings and actual accounts, I almost see nobody on our side call for violence, but everybody on their side, that's the first thing that they do, because that's all they know how to do. When you don't have an argument, when you don't have any kind of discussion that's possible that's going to look good in your favor, what you end up doing is, when your back's against the wall, you have to go to violence. That's it. That's all you have left. It's a fight or flight response, and I get it. I totally get it. But listen, maybe focus on your argument a little bit more. Maybe focus on having a discussion with people who disagree with you. I think it actually will be beneficial to you. Easby's no stranger to making unhinged comments such as these. Back in March, he posted, if there's one thing to take away from this last week, it's that gamers don't deserve video games. Just send them to a construction yard or something instead. Again, so why are you in video games? If you think gamers don't deserve video games, what are you? Are you a gamer? Are you not a gamer? I mean, you're literally called Easby Games. So, like, if you're attacking gamers, you realize that you're in that bubble. And then if you classify yourself as not a gamer, then why the fuck are you in games? You get what I'm saying? Like, these people are the literal definition of grifters. They're scam artists. They're not actually in games to talk about games. They're in games because right now gaming is the medium that they're trying to utilize for their activism. Back then, it was Hollywood TV shows and movies. They've been failing at that, and now they moved on to video games. It's only a matter of time before these fucking tourists move on to something else. That's just the way it goes. So I think it's hilarious when they openly try to say gamers don't deserve games when you literally have Easby Games in your fucking Twitter profile, you absolute retard. I don't think they think very, very hard, but at the end of the day, man, that's just what they do. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.